Welcome back to the channel. This is iTablet 2.0. You probably remember I had an original channel called iTablet as well, which had about 16,000 subscribers when I decided to close it. At the moment, I'm back to zero, so you can see I have no subscribers on YouTube and no subscribers on Threads. So if you want to be one of the first people to subscribe to my channel and go on this journey with me again, please follow me on YouTube and Threads. And just as with my first channel, I want to do giveaways again. So the first giveaway will be an iPad mini. This will be given away when the channel hits 2,000 subscribers. So if you want to enter, just subscribe to iTablet on YouTube. And if you want to double your chances, I'll also be looking at my subscribers on Threads. So be sure to follow me there as well. And this time around, I'm doing things very, very differently with the channel. Instead of buying a MacBook or a Mac Mini, I'm going to do the entire channel just with this device. So I'm going to be shooting on my iPhone, which is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I'm going to be editing on the iPad in Final Cut Pro. And if you want to see if it's possible to make a YouTube channel using only two devices, an iPhone and an iPad, follow the channel. Come along on this journey with me and see how painful it could be. Because all the other channels, all the other influencers, all the other YouTubers who tell you that the iPad is such a capable device, they also have MacBooks, have Mac Minis, have Mac Studios and all those things, which is fine, but the problem is, if you really want to know what it's like to use the iPad as your main computer, you need to follow a channel like this. The reason why I decided to close my channel, which at that point was getting quite successful, like I had a lot of fun making the videos and also I was getting a lot of great feedback, was because I no longer believed in this. I no longer believed in the vision of the iPad that Apple was trying to sell us. At the moment we have, how many? 5 different types of iPads, and they're all geared at different types of people, but they are all essentially the same device. This is just the nicest, this is the worst one, and this is just the smallest one. And the problem with this entire lineup is the fact that it's just so completely confusing and very, very boring. And also the other problem is the software. So one of the main reasons why I decided to close my channel was because of this absolute mess called Stage Manager. You will see a lot of YouTubers talking about Stage Manager and how great it is and how it has changed their lives and how it has changed the way that they use their iPad. Yes, it has changed the way I've used my iPad, and yes, this is an interesting development in the iPadOS story, but it's nowhere near as good as macOS. When I give my iPad to my partner to, look for flights or do something like that, he always gets stuck because he doesn't know how to use iPadOS. macOS is just so much easier to use and so much more intuitive that anyone can pick it up and use it and not get stuck with this kind of thing. I mean, if you look at how this works at the moment, it's very manual. You need to tap through things, you need to rearrange things. Like, it's just so difficult to use when compared to macOS, where you can use your keyboard and rearrange the windows without even touching the screen. Well, obviously on a Mac you can't touch the screen, so you do that through the keyboard. When Apple launched this range of iPads, plus this absolute mess of an iPad, the original iPad, which is now has a better Magic Keyboard, a worse Apple Pencil, and a worse screen than the iPad Pro, plus a better arrangement of the camera, where this one's camera's at the top and not on the side like it is over here. I looked at the situation, I was just like, you know what? I don't feel like being part of the story anymore. I don't feel like giving Apple any more free publicity, because I feel as though what they're trying to sell us at the moment is just so incredibly poor that it didn't warrant any kind of effort from my side anymore. But the reason why I decided I wanted to start my channel again is because, number one, I really enjoyed making the channel, and I really enjoyed the feedback I got from my viewers, and also I love to see how the channel grew. And also the fact that it looks as though Apple is planning on creating something brand new in the iPad Pro lineup, which could be OLED, which, number one, that would be great. Not that the screen is bad at all, but I think that OLED would be a great improvement. And then also there's rumor that it's going to be bigger. So some say it's going to be 14 inches or something like that. This is already nearly 13 inches, so I think another inch this way would make it, far bigger, obviously, and much more like a MacBook. And that is the thing that gets me really excited. I don't think Apple would create a much larger iPad Pro, so instead of 12.9, making it up to 14 inches, and not do something really interesting with iPadOS next year. I know we've said this before, and I know the story of the iPad has always been, it's going to be better next year. But this time I actually feel as though there is some kind of hope that the iPad Pro might turn into something which would be as interesting as a MacBook. So I think that's the kind of thing I want to focus on with this channel, is putting pressure on not just on Apple to create something better, but also just seeing where the story goes. Because I think that over the last year or so, the iPad story has been so completely boring, so confusing, and I want to see how they fix this lineup. Because if you think about it, to clean up this lineup would be fairly easy. You need to get rid of this one so that you can take away the lightning ports. You can keep the iPad mini because it's such a great device, it's really portable and nice, but it would be great if they could figure out some kind of keyboard for this device. Or even if they wanted to create something completely revolutionary, put an M1 chip inside the Mac Mini. And obviously Apple wouldn't put an M1 chip inside the iPad mini, because then for people like myself, the Pro users, I would gladly not buy any of these devices or an iPad Pro again if I could get an M1 iPad mini, which I can basically take with me wherever I go, add a keyboard, add a screen, and basically have my entire desktop inside my pocket. That's all for the first new video of iTablet. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to enter the iPad mini giveaway.